Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Bushman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at each life path number forecast for August 2023. Before we get into that, this, of course, is a general forecast. If you would like your own personal year-ahead forecast, diamond forecast, your compatibility report with another person, your full numerology report, your business report, Numerology has you covered. Just book some time with me. My information is in the description box below, and let's take a look. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the August forecast for each individual life path number. Life path number 5. So I pulled an animal wisdom message for you all, and you got pigeon energy. And this is so beautiful. I'm going to talk about it in just a moment, but I do want to tie in with the animal wisdom message the numerology for this month because they go hand in hand so beautifully. So this month of August, you all are actually working with 2 energy. So we're looking at relationships, relating to other people, right? I'm going to go into the 2 energy in a little bit more detail in just a moment, but I wanted to say that because with pigeon energy, there's definitely this like strong element of relationships, gentleness, honor, chivalry, just sort of this, there's just this beautiful energy around it and how we relate to others. So it makes me think of, at my bird feeder, there are probably 30 or so mourning doves that come every morning like clockwork. And it's so beautiful to watch them because mourning doves will often mate for life. So they'll find a partner and then they'll mate for life. And every year around mating season, they do this little mating ritual, and it's so beautiful to watch it because the male bird will sort of walk towards the female bird and bow and do like a little coo and then bow again, and as it's walking towards the female. And then when it gets really close to the female, typically for the first 10 tries or so, the female will fly away. And so sort of playing like hard to get, right? So even in the pigeon world, there's these courtships, right? But it's just really beautiful to watch because the male keeps showing up in that way and bowing and walking and bowing and walking. And it's just beautiful to watch. Anyway, so with this pigeon, there's this sort of energy of like respect, longevity, sort of showing up for one another. That's the other thing too with the mourning doves is if one passes away, that one mourning dove that's left, will sit by wherever that its partner was, passed away, right? So there was this one time that a mourning dove hit one of my windows, which was awful, but unfortunately it didn't make it. And that the partner mourning dove sat by that window, like on a ledge. I'm not kidding. I think for 2 weeks. It was so heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking on every level to see that, but it was so incredibly beautiful. And I'm not saying that, we need to commit on that level or we need to I'm not saying anything except for just to highlight the beauty of mourning doves and pigeons. It's just incredibly beautiful. So anyway, but as it comes to relationships, I think that there is definitely something that could come through with this around, again, like this more like gentle nature, like connectivity and working towards that connectivity as opposed to separation. So in any relationship, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be any kind of connection. We've moved towards a society where it's like it's so much easier to just separate, to like move in different directions, to block, to ghost, to hold anger and resentment, as opposed to communication and really trying to understand the other person and really trying to meet in the middle. Doesn't mean you have to continue to see that person or entertain that person or whatever, but it's just this sort of gentleness that, if it can be present, and if we can be present for that gentleness, that it just changes the whole dynamic when it comes to connectivity. So you may see things come in this month around your relationships where it might be that you need to be the bigger person, right? To kind of make that happen. And you don't have control over how the other person shows up or, whether they're willing to sort of be on that same wavelength, but you have every bit of control over how you show up. And so it may be this month, again, that though it may be easier to disconnect or separate, there may be something to be said for communication and how can we connect on a deeper level so that if we are going to separate, it's done in a way that's healthy and still beautiful, right? So this month, again, you all are working with the energy of the 2. So there's definitely going to be probably something or some kind of pressure point put on the need to be the observer, to not be too emotionally attached to a situation or an outcome, but be able to pull back a little bit, take a look at the bigger picture, see what's really going on before you make some kind of a decision. This 2 energy is asking you to be as unbiased as possible with whatever this is. So not being too reactive, but really pausing, observing, and then responding to the connection or whatever it is that shows up for you. But with it being 2 energy, usually this is going to put pressure on areas that need healing, that need balance, that need to come together. And a lot of times it's going to be, the requirement is going to be on us to do that, right? So having those difficult conversations, choosing to communicate over debating, really just going down the more elevated path of how can we make this better, even if it means we still have to separate, right? And again, friendships, colleagues, work partnerships, romantic partnerships, family, you name it, comes under this larger umbrella of the 2. So wherever it is that maybe there's been some discord, where, a little bit of sort of mediation might help, you may see that come under the spotlight this month. And, that's not always easy because it means we have to, face our wounded or inflated ego, or we need to, swallow our pride, or we need to, just sort of see other people's perspectives when we feel like our perspective is right. And it's not that our perspective is wrong. It's just that there are other perspectives. And so when we run through a 2 cycle, a lot of times that can come into play, and we can be asked to really take a look at that and see where it is that we are so sort of hung up on our own perspective that we're not seeing somebody else's. And a lot of times with 5 energy, your life path is a 5. So, a lot of times with 5s, especially when they're in their sort of in alignment with this energy, you're already more of an unconventional thinker. You're able to sort of see that bigger picture. But sometimes it's a little bit more difficult if we're emotionally involved or emotionally attached to the outcome or to that person or whatever the case may be. Then it's a little bit more difficult when you're immersed in it to see all sides. And so 2 energy coming through is saying, this is going to be a time where we need to see all sides and see how we can meet in the middle, right? Where's the balance? 2 energy is also going to say, where is it that maybe somewhere within your own life, things are out of balance, and it's going to be up to you to bring things back into balance holistically, right? Body, mind, spirit. So you could see that come into the forefront as well this month. But overall, I think this is probably going to be a bigger month around relationships. So just kind of keep an eye out and pay attention to how you're showing up to that relationship and how maybe it could be done a little bit more gently, perhaps, or maybe in a way that embodies healthier behaviors, right? So good luck. I hope it's a great month. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.